Welcome everyone. It is Wednesday night. We're doing Tuesday tea time, a day late as usual. My European tour doesn't seem to be particularly time friendly for my usual Tuesday tea times. So I may be talking on my own here, but I know some of you will watch the replay later. And I'm going to go ahead and just share what I've been thinking about because we drove to France today from Belgium. So I'm in a beautiful little bed and breakfast here in France, and I start my French clinic tomorrow. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. It was a long drive here. And for some of you who follow my Facebook feed, I posted a talk by a woman named Hannah Gatsby. And it's beautiful. If you haven't listened to it, I highly suggest it. But Hannah asked this question, who do you want to be? She asked it better than I do. She's very funny, she's got a lot of humor about how the way she goes about that question. But it has me thinking a lot, particularly along the lines of the talk I did last week and the Patreon video that I posted about my day with Chekhov and where I want to go with this training. So I have a really strong belief that if you ever have any problem with a horse, it's because you did too much too soon. If you do the right amount of progress, horses want to do things. They want to play, they want to explore, they want to have fun, they want to be entertained. But if you overwhelm them, they will defend themselves. And then you have to manage that self-defense. Now, as horse trainers, there are a lot of us who've made a living out of creating a problem and then showing you how to fix the problem we just created. And I would say that the majority of successful horse trainers out there do this because, quite honestly, it makes money. So for any of us who've ever been in a place where we needed to gain clients, gain respect, gain interest, we've probably been put in a situation where we had to push a horse too hard so that it fought back and then magically fix the problem that we actually created. And you know, that's sort of an embarrassing thing for me to talk about because I've certainly done it. And I would bet most horse trainers who are honest will admit they've done it too. So when I ask the question, who do you want to be? I want to be the kind of person that doesn't create a problem in the first place. I want to be the kind of horse trainer that sees a horse for where they're at, as living their best life in that moment. There is no problem. And then from there, encourage them to be a better version of themselves. Now, unfortunately, that's not very fancy. It's not very fast. It doesn't get a lot of attention. So it's hard as a horse trainer to say that, you know, I'm not going to create a show that then I can fix. I'm going to acknowledge the horse is absolutely fine in its home environment where it is, and it didn't have a problem until I overwhelmed it. If I overwhelm it, yes, I should probably help the horse, but do I want to be the kind of person that is always putting a horse that far out of their comfort zone that then I have to fix it? And the reason this comes up is because it's exactly what I did last week. I'm very human. I'm gonna do this sometimes. And sometimes I'm going to have a bigger intention for the horse than is acceptable for the horse. And the horse is gonna be overwhelmed by my company because I have something in mind that's too big too soon for that particular horse. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, I want to be the kind of person that doesn't do that. Now I'm going to sometimes. Last week was really interesting. It led to some great learning. And I will say that every time I am that person that pushes too hard, I learn a lot. I learn some really valuable things. So if it happens by accident, I'm going to welcome all of the learning that comes with it. But that's not really who I want to be. I don't want to be the person that creates a problem so I can then fix it. I want to be the kind of person that takes reality exactly as it is. There probably weren't any problems with that horse before I got there. And then improve on it in that way that is maybe not very interesting. It's maybe more quiet, more zen, more peaceful. I'm going to scroll back here, Christian. I see that you wrote me a message. Yeah, staying below the threshold. Yep. Learning the piano once, a small mistake, taking me 5 repetitions to unlearn that small mistake. Just learn the right thing at the right speed. Yes, that's a really good example. When we're learning to play music, if we can slow down and learn the right thing the first time, it's better. But as horse trainers, that's not what we're taught. As horse trainers, we're taught that learning starts outside the comfort zone. And we're taught to push the horse outside the comfort zone until the horse starts to fight back. And then how to push them through that discomfort until they learn something. And that is a style of horse training. And I actually don't think it's a bad style of horse training. I actually think some horses really appreciate it. And it can be really positive. But it's not who I want to be. So here's to Tuesday Tea Time. I want to thank Trisha from the UK for my beautiful new mug. It's taking me around Europe right now. Why? Why do we want to push too hard and then fix the problems that we created? And I think that has to do with our relationship to time. Do we have enough time to do all the things we want to do? How hard do we have to push to get the results that we think we need sooner rather than later? This is the reason my movies are called Taming Wild. It's taming that wild, impatient streak in yourself that wants everything too soon. So our relationship with time is really important. I'm taking a little mini course right now with Jane Pike in New Zealand, all about that subject, time. How do we relate to time? How do we think about time? How do we use time? Huge shout out to Jane. Thank you for asking me all the right questions. I'm really working on that right now. If any of you guys are interested, Jane runs a great program called Joyride, all about the sort of mental piece behind what we do. I find this stuff really interesting. I love being a horse trainer. I love being able to solve problems. I'm proud of my past, of being, I think, a fairly good dominant trainer, knowing how to fix a lot of problems. But I'm even more excited about my future and what comes next. How do I become the person that I really want to be? There's going to be days when, like last week, where, I bang my head against the wall and I want too much and I learn a lot from it. But then ultimately, the biggest thing that I want to learn from that is that I can do it differently, that I can do that totally differently from the beginning. And what does that look like? So, let's see, I missed some comments here. Yeah, #1 fan of the horse. Absolutely, Julia. Yeah. Thank you. I missed you in Eclipse too. I had so much fun with you at that Belgium clinic. That was awesome. And then Rebecca says, totally with you. As a horse trainer, I believe that time pressure is the things that cause us as people to be in a place to push the horse over their thresholds. To be in the horse's rhythm at their speed takes more time. And when we allow ourselves the time to go slow, yeah, absolutely, Rebecca. It's beautiful. And I guess that's who I want to be. I want to be that person that creates a culture around the idea that that's okay. Yes, it is okay to be more dominant. It is okay to push them faster. There are lots of good ways to do it. And I also want to create a culture where we have a different relationship with horses and time, and we allow them to become themselves. So this week, I'm going to show you another video of me and Chekhov, a little bit different, a little bit more about the person that I want to be. Not so much about trying to solve the mistakes I've made, solve the problems I've run into, but a little bit more about how do we build from the ground up? How do we start with the horse in a situation where they're really comfortable and build on that? That's more interesting to me. So I have a really good video that I'm going to post on Patreon this week that is a little bit more in line with who I want to be. And I love everything that I learned from Chekhov last week, but I like this even better. I've been doing a lot of thinking on it. It's slower, and I've been thinking about it a lot in terms of Atlas, my stallion at home. He was abused. I had this very amazing idea that I was going to fix him, that I was going to just solve all of his problems, and we were going to have this miraculous movie that we're going to make together, and it was going to be beautiful. And I really pushed too hard in a lot of ways because I didn't even know that there were anything slower than that. The version of pushing too hard with Atlas was already slower than anything I'd ever done with any horse. So I couldn't imagine how I would go slower than that. And I've had to really learn that over time. But thank you, Atlas, for teaching me that. And I want to be the person that knows how to have a different relationship with horses and time so that I accept them as being fine and building on that instead of seeing their problems and solving them. It's just a different way to go about it. And yes, some horses are going to have trauma issues. We will have to be educated and aware of that. I think it's a spectrum. Everybody has some degree of trauma, but if we can work from what is good and whole and healthy and beautiful about that individual and build on that until it fills up all of the spaces the trauma existed, I think it's the way I want to go about it. It's what I'm excited about. So I am just about to start my French clinic tomorrow, and then I'll be on to the Netherlands and then Poland after that. I'm learning a huge amount from all of my students everywhere I go. And, the more I do this, the more I realize there will always be a balance between solving problems and building on strengths. But I really want to focus on the building on strengths part. How do we take the horse exactly as they are in all of their beauty and improve on that so they become a better and better partner, instead of seeing them as something that has a problem that we have to fix or solve. So a little bit of a mindset shift. Thank you guys for joining me for tea time. It's not really a mindset shift. I've been working on this for a while, but I guess it's a new clarity on it. So thank you guys for joining me. And I'm going to keep going and keep building on this idea and hopefully build a whole culture around improving what already is, not creating a problem that we then have to fix. All right. Hope that's some good ideas for you guys. I will see you next Tuesday. I think hopefully might be Wednesday. I'll put a post up on Facebook and let you know. I will be somewhere between Belgium and the Netherlands. So see you next week. Thank you.